What's happening, Ice Cubes? My name is Matty Ice Cube, and I wanted to get something off my chest. I've been holding off to tell you guys this story for a long time. I told you guys a long time ago, if you remember, way back a year and a half ago, almost. I told you my life story. I posted it. Oh God, when did I post it? I should have pulled it up. I'll just search for it. But I posted it. Here it is, December 16th. So it's been almost a year, not a year and a half. I'm stupid. It's been almost a year since I posted that, and I wanted to do a follow-up on the day of, but I've decided to do it now because I don't have a lot of time for videos. Like, this morning will be the first time I've had time for videos since 4 days ago now, almost. And my hair is out of control. I am so sorry, guys. But I wanted to tell the story of how Markiplier, one of the funniest guys I have ever seen, ever. Besides Brian Regan. Brian Regan's fucking hilarious. But on a more serious note, I wanted to tell the story of how Markiplier saved my life. And this was after my first attempted suicide. I was still really low. So we're going to go way back to 2012. It was August-ish. No, it was July. It was either June or July. Late June or early July. And I was trolling the internet, looking at really dark stuff. Like, I was looking at the Slender Man mythos and all this monsterology stuff that I was really interested in because it was the first thing that I had actually gotten hooked on to read stuff. I mean, yeah, it gave me nightmares at night, but I was like, okay, whatever. I'd rather have something to do rather than just sit at the computer. Because my first computer in ages was this shitty little laptop that we had. We had it on top of our piano. If you guys have seen my upstairs, I've made a couple videos upstairs. My piano used to be in the center of my living room, and it was sitting on top of the piano because none of us played piano at the time. It was sitting on top of the piano, and it was plugged into an Ethernet cable because the wireless capabilities just vanished for some reason. And I was fine with that because I would sit at that bench and watch videos and read stuff, and that was the only time my mother ever saw me. And usually it was up in the middle of the night. I would watch anime, watch some videos on YouTube, and stupid shit like that. But it was July 7th. No, it was July 9th. It was July 9th of 2012 that I discovered my first Markiplier video. And it was a Happy Wheels video. No, it wasn't the Happy Wheels video. It was... Oh, God, what was it? His playthrough of the original Slender game. Slender the 8 Pages. And I was really into Slender at the time. I was reading all the Slender mythos and all the Slender stories that were on the internet at the time. Because back in 2012, Slender was really, really, really big. And I was like, okay, I'll check it out. And it was good. It was great. It was funny. It was the first thing I found funny in almost 3 years. And it was after that I started looking into his channel, and the next video I watched was the Happy Wheels videos. The Happy Wheels playlist in particular, back when it was only 20 videos long. His Happy Wheels highlights. And I would watch those over and over and over again because they made me laugh. My mother hadn't heard my laugh for almost a year and a half. So she was very confused when she got up in the middle of the night and she heard me laughing. to her, it must have been the strangest thing she'd seen me do after all I had been through. I was like, let me tell you my mindset at the time. I was joyless. I was a husk. I was a shadow of my former self because I was broken. My mind was broken at the time. Like, I was losing my mind, both literally and figuratively. I was losing it. And I never felt happy. I was always depressed. And I just felt like my existence was entirely meaningless. Like, I had discarded my humanity in the mental hospital. Like, I came back a little better, a little peppier, but it was all for show because I didn't want to go back. But it was when I watched those videos that I actually felt joy again. I felt extremely, extremely happy for the first time in a long, long time. And I have very fond memories of those videos. Like, every time I watch them again, I'm back in 2012. And I'm laughing my ass off because they're so funny to me. And over time, this was back when Mark had like 2,000 some subscribers. And he had just started his second channel. I have been following Markiplier since then. I didn't get an account until about a couple years later, admittedly, and subscribed. But that was all I would watch, was Markiplier. I went through all of his videos in a month at the time. He had like 1,000 videos at the time. And I watched through all of them. I watched them all. And I loved every single one of them. Like, I have my favorites. I have my least favorites. I have the ones that I hate. I have the ones that I absolutely love forever and ever and ever. But Markiplier's videos have done so much good for me. Like, it's done so much good for my soul. If that's not too corny. But that I legitimately feel that way. It's shaped me into the man I am now because I'm pretty funny. I'm probably the funniest out of my group of friends. Out of my family, no way. My cousin is way funnier than I am. And it's not entirely his fault. That's a story for another day. But I'm such a firm believer in what Mark believes in because he's never led me astray. Not just because he saved my life, because I was on the edge of another suicide attempt, but because I respected him for what he was doing. His Draw My Life and his 10,000 subscriber special, if you guys have not seen those, go watch them. They'll make you cry. The very first time I watched them, I bawled. That was a long time since I've had tears like that. And it's been from a lot of other videos that I've gotten sad and crying too. Like that dragon called Cancer, that made me cry. I was really damn sad. Oh God, even thinking about it, it makes me feel a little down. But Mark's a good guy. He's never led me astray. I'd trust him with my life. I did trust him with my life. That's the whole moral of the story. I trusted him with my life, and he delivered. He helped. It was like God sent a frickin' angel from above, but I don't know. Jack, Urshan, Jacksepticeye, is also to blame for my big bombastic nature, because I love what he does. He's an awesome person. I would love to meet Mark and Jack, or Sean, or whatever you want to call him. I just call him Jack. I know there are 2 different Jacks on YouTube that I watch, and we'll get into that story another day, because he was the first YouTuber that I ever watched and followed, Jack the Infinite 101, and that's a story for another time. I still watch his videos. He doesn't upload anymore, which is sad. I would love to see more content from him, because he was actually mildly successful. But I'm getting emotional. I'm sorry. Also, it's really early. It's like 5. It's almost 5:30, and I have to work in 4.5 hours. So I can't go back to sleep, or else I won't wake up. I was sick yesterday, which is why I didn't record. I went to work, and they sent me home because I felt really bad yesterday, guys. I felt horrible. Otherwise, I would have recorded. I had intentions to, but I just felt awful. I didn't know what I got, but it just was bad. But that was the story of how Markiplier saved my life. I'm sure there are similar stories out there, but this one's mine. I own it. It's who I am. And that's the end of it. Oh, God. Nothing. It's nothing, guys. But anyway. So, thank you all so much for watching. As always, I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see all of you, voice crack, in the next video. Bye!